Before I begin, a quick word. I would like to give thanks to two of my friends, Bunks and Skyclad, for helping me in judging the submitted maps. Their input was valuable and helped me in ranking the maps. I would also like to thank all the participants for submitting their maps for this contest, and finally, thank you for supporting me and making this contest possible. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting from the 16th position, we have Beta Style by Kaveman Jones. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to the map. As the map begins, I was met with complete darkness. Turning Fulbright on, I noticed that I was in the Citadel. From what I can tell, the author wanted to recreate a location from the concept art, the interior of the Citadel. I would suggest fixing the lighting on this map and using more textures for the walls and the floors. I think this can be made into a really good map. Good effort, Mr. Jones, but it's just not looking good right now. On the 15th position, we have Beta Max D by Jockey's Face. While not essentially beta looking, I can see that some effort was put into the map. The map's geometry almost feels like a mixture of short European buildings but with the US style textures found in the beta. The center place of the map looks nice, but if you go to any other edges of the map, there's nothing but a void. I would suggest adding in some walls around the map to improve the immersion. Plus, it's more of a sandbox style map with no end goal, but it's fine. This one was a hard map to judge because some parts looked fine. Those parts have some details, but the other parts were looking completely off. Overall, good effort, Jockey. On the 14th position, we have Wasteland Train Station by TPose King Kaleb. I liked the concept of this map, an abandoned train station in the middle of nowhere. While the surrounding quote-unquote wasteland looks nice, with displacements done on the ground, the station itself looked a little bare bones. Adding in some details would help, like props and decals, or maybe making the station's size a bit bigger might also be a good choice. Good effort, Kaleb. It's a short one, but still good. On the 13th position, we have HL2 High Ground by Noobko. While the texture and the geometry work on the map is fine, the overall layout was a bit confusing. There was no sense of immersion in a way that I had no sense of where I was. Maybe City 17 or Ravenholm or maybe some other place. Adding in high-rise buildings in the surroundings might have improved that. Then we get into a firefight, which is a little unfair. There's a sniper, 2 combined soldiers, and a manhack, and there's not a whole lot of space to move around. Balancing this firefight might help improve the map, maybe just keep the sniper but remove everything else. After the firefight, we end up in the canals. The canals are very short, but I liked it. I liked how the author added in the exploding combined soldier, similar to the actual Beta Canals map. And at the end, we head outside into the wasteland. Good map, but it needs some refinement on the layout. Each section doesn't blend into the other. That's why it feels a little janky. On the 12th position, we have Beyond the Sea by Elephants Doing Crack. Basically, EDC recreated the Kraken base level. It starts out from the submarine with the base on high alert. There's head crabs, zombies, and the Combine fighting each other and the rebels. While the concept of the map is intriguing, there is quite a lot of repetition in regards to the appearance of the level. The same corridors with the same textures. But I appreciate the little details EDC added where visible. Overall, it's a good map, but would have been better with more versatile areas or chambers of the base. He did mention the map had more levels, but the Hammer editor corrupted his file, so he was only left with this one level in the end. On the 11th position, we have ETP Dark City Demo by ElmeriThePig. In the README file Elmeri sent along with the map, he mentioned that he's working on a mod called Dark City, hence the name of this map. I noticed in the README file, Elmeri credited Civoxillary for the Citadel model. Basically, this is the Citadel from Dark Interval, which is a nice touch. So starting off, I was a bit off-put by the lack of lighting in the map. Some places were just pitch black dark. It would have been nice if the environment light was a little brighter, so the map could be visible even without an extra light source. But I liked the atmosphere in this map. It is a recreation of sorts of the Red Letter Day chapter. Then we come across what looks like a construction site and some buildings. Again, a little bit of lighting would highly improve this map's appearance. The under construction buildings were a nice touch. It's a nod to the construction site area from the beta. Then we go underground for a while, do a little fetch quest, and fight a chopper. Overall, I was impressed by Elmeri's map. I liked the scope of it, the feeling they tried to instill into it. The only thing that holds it back was the lighting, but good job, Elmeri. It's a good map. On the 10th position, we have 2001 Train by Gasmask Citizen. At first I was unimpressed, thinking it's just a box of a map. But when I stepped outside, I immediately recognized what they were going for. This is more of a set piece than an actual map, but I really liked it. Plus they really instilled that miserable feel that you get in the beta version of City 17. The green fog was a bit off-putting when put against the dark blue sky. It just didn't match the rest of the map, but I get why they put it in. Maybe a dark green skybox would have fixed this problem. But apart from that, I loved the atmosphere. Great job, Citizen. You get a free TV as a reward. On the 9th position, we have D1 Train Ride Final by Exter Yeet. This impressed me the moment the map loaded. The interior of the train was well decorated and the exterior areas of the wasteland was well made. One thing that I really liked was the silhouette of the city in the distance. I absolutely loved this. Apart from that, there's not much to say. It is a faithful recreation of what could have been the original intro train ride for the game. Well done, Exter. Great map. On the 8th position, we have M3 Word by M3 Media. One thing I liked about these maps were the backstory. It begins in the Vertigo building before the 7-hour war happened. Then there's a little Easter egg they put in.
What are you fretting about? He merely hanged himself. Why are you so worried about it?
I've been stuck in Vertigo for so long. I've been waiting for someone to break me out. But the demons and spirits that haunt me, they won't let me out. Up in the sky, up in the clouds, there's a place called Vertigo.
I like that. I uploaded this little song on my now dead Discord server a long time ago. They added it in as an Easter egg. They also added custom voice lines for the NPCs, and I'll show you them later when I stream these maps. Afterwards we get into the lift, but it falls. We wake up, I guess years later, and the 7-hour war is happening. I liked this little sequence, the building falling over. Then the whole outside area was quite nice to look at as well. Quite a lot of beta-esque lighting going on. A fight between the citizens and the Combine, that was great. We go into an alley and fall yet again into the sewers. The sewer section were quite basic to look at, but it was a nice touch. I can see a lot of effort was put into the 3 maps. There was also a religious ceremony going on with the Vertigons as well. But good work, M3. I liked it. On the 7th position, we have an amazing set piece by Bushman. The second this map loaded, I was blown away. The mood instantly sets in. The ruins of a highway with the buildings to the side, along with this grimmish yellow lighting. Absolutely amazing. I loved this. Moving through this map, I started to think about the carnage that must have occurred in the 7-hour war. How the Combine obliterated the Earth. Such a good looking map. Too bad it's a little short, but where it lacks in length, it makes up for it in the appearance department. I loved it. Outstanding work, Bushman. On the 6th position, we have The Beta by Xenehpal or Alphenex. This map almost has the same problem as Elmeri's map, the lack of lighting, mostly in the surroundings. But it makes up for it with the amount of detail it has. It has great geometry, texture use, and the layout is well mapped as well. Most of it takes underground though, but it still looks nice. There was a fair bit of gameplay as well. Then we move further down below and reach what seems to be a combined prison. I really liked the floodlights in this area. It gives an eerie feeling to the whole place, makes it feel mysterious. Then we fight a bunch of antlions and get teleported back up to fight a strider. The ending was abrupt, but the overall map was very well made. I liked the little details they added in. Good job, Alphenex. On the 5th position, we have Sit 01 by Mr. K. So this is basically an enhanced version of a beta map that the author made, with his own areas added in the later half of the map. I must say that they did a good job polishing up this map. Some might say that this map shouldn't be considered as part of the contest, but honestly it's not against the rules, so I'll let it pass. But the areas that Mr. K did add in were awesome. Dark and gritty, just how I like it. This area with the verticality was a nice touch to the map, with the elevators and the combine shooting at us. And I liked the texture use in this. Looks very nice. All I have to say is that the area that the author added in is very much faithful to the beta aesthetics of the Citadel. Well done, Mr. K. You did a good job. On the 4th position, we have the appropriately named Grunge 17 by Mobility Spoon. The map definitely has a dark and gritty tone to it. While the geometry may not be that good, the texture use and the lighting done on the map makes it feel very polished. The atmosphere is quickly instilled just because how well the lighting is done on the streets and the buildings. The interior parts were well designed. I would have preferred more details and props inside these places, but it still looks good. The scope of the map is what made it rank so higher. It has multiple areas of the city in it, and they all feel very consistent in regards to their tone and design. Great work, Spoon. Now, on to the top 3 maps. On the 3rd position, we have City 19 by Kaiju Kami. While just a set piece rather than a map, it feels extremely dense and well made. There wasn't a single fault I could see in this map, honestly. The orange tint on street level gave it a nice personality as well. Where there should be warmth, there's nothing but misery as seen by the combined subjugation on the citizens. The geometry, the texture use, and the details, everything was very well done. Not much to say for it, as the map speaks for itself. Awesome work, Kaiju. On the 2nd position, we have True Citizen by Bouribou. When the map started, I wasn't that much impressed. I mean, it's a well-made section, but that's pretty much it. Proper textures and props. It did really set up the tone of the apartment very nicely, but Then I got into the elevator and I was thinking maybe I'll be seeing more of the same what I already saw. But when that door opened, just breathtaking. This is peak dark and gritty. There's just something about this map that left me speechless. It's just so good. I'm a sucker for ambient lighting like this. The dark blue shade that is casted upon the map is what sets the absolute miserable feeling that is the Beta City 17. And then little bits and pieces of props and details all over the map that you can view only add to the immersion. Buildings in the distance, combine APCs in a dark skybox. It's all good. With the essential elements such as geometry, texture use and details done great, this map gets the runner-up position in this competition. Outstanding work, Bouribou. Really impressed us with this one. And now, on to the first position and the winner of this Hazardous mapping contest. We have Collaborator by Synthesizer. If Bouribou did well with the details, well, Synthesizer basically one-upped the details. He added details on top of details, if that makes any sense. The geometry, perfect. Texture use, outstanding. I seriously think this person must have been an ex-developer at Valve because of how polished and refined his maps play out. Perfect layouts with just the right type of gameplay in it. Every single section that you can walk into in this map is designed perfectly. And you know that a map is amazing when you start feeling like you're playing a map from a retail game, as if someone from Valve made this. Just so good. Phenomenal work, Synthesizer, and congratulations. I'll let the footage play in the background while I end this video. I hope you enjoyed watching these maps, and again, thank you to all the participants for taking part in this contest. I had a lot of fun organizing the contest and testing the maps. The next contest will be announced sometime later in the summer, around late July or August. And with all that said, thank you for watching.